Hello, my name is Roboverse, and welcome back to my TED Talk, or whatever this is. The first season of The Bad Batch is finally over, and after 16 weeks of waking up at 3 in the morning, and 16 episodes later, we've reached the end of the line, for now at least. I've seen loads of mixed reviews on the finale, with some thinking it was boring, but I wouldn't say the finale was completely underwhelming. We got to see some good things unfold in the episode, however it definitely could have been better. I'll try and get all the negativity out of the way first before I cover the positive things this finale had to offer us.
And you know the drill, there will be spoilers in this video, so you better watch the episode before proceeding.
Anyways, I'll start off with the main problem that this finale had to offer us. I thought that AZ was going to die when watching the episode. I know I said earlier that I'd like it if he joined the Bad Batch, but having him sacrifice himself for Omega could have been a good alternate way to end his character, and I didn't really like how Omega made the idiotic decision to go after AZ when she could have drowned. It really seems as if she wants to save anyone and everyone these days. I definitely don't hate AZ, as he's a funny and sometimes comedic character, but I'm just disappointed that they teased a pivotal sacrifice only to have it undone moments later. However, I still wouldn't be against AZ surviving, it's just the way he survived could have been handled better. The next problem with this finale is that a lot of people constantly point out the underdevelopment of Echo. In fact, this is a problem that could be applied to the entire show as a whole, and perhaps deserves a video in and of itself. And honestly, after looking back, I really hate to admit it, but as much as I really like Echo, he is indeed underused in this season. He only plays an active role in the first episode of the series, mainly during the cafeteria fight, and the 14th episode, when he tries to convince Hunter and Tech to save Gregor. I really hope that the next season dedicates more episodes to him. One final thing I was really expecting to see was for Rex, and possibly Gregor, to come and save the Bad Batch. In fact, I was really hoping to see both of them help the Bad Batch rescue Hunter in the previous episode, but alas, we didn't see them. It looks as if we'll have to wait until the next season to see them both, as well as Wolf. I really hope that the next season dedicates some time to what's going on from Rex's and possibly Ahsoka's point of view. I know this show is about the Bad Batch and all, but it wouldn't hurt to dedicate at least some episodes towards other characters. Besides, we already saw this dynamic take place in Devil's Deal, where the Bad Batch only played a minor role and the main focus was on Sham, Hauser, Hera, and Crosshair to some extent. But now it's time to discuss the good things the finale had to offer us. It was a highlight to see that one clone at the beginning of the episode confirmed the destruction of Kamino to Rampart. This is the first time we've actually seen sunlight on Kamino, yet at the same time, we still get the bittersweet scene of Kamino in ruins and the Bad Batch just staring at it. Seeing Kamino destroyed and underwater, along with its cloning facilities and laboratories, is truly a good thing that both finale episodes had to offer. It gives off Titanic-like vibes, and like I said in the last video, it truly serves as the end of an era to the clones now that their home is just gone. What happens next with the clones will be very interesting going forward, especially now that the latter events have just unfolded. I also loved seeing the callbacks to the very first episode of The Bad Batch. We already saw this in the previous episode, namely during the Dark Trooper fight scene, and the brief staring contest between Hunter and Crosshair shortly after that. We once again got to see parallels with Crosshair and Omega during their brief conversation, and when the former ended up saving the latter. And speaking of Crosshair, he probably had the most amount of development out of any character in this episode. After the premiere, I was expecting that Crosshair would get his redemption arc later on in the season. However, as the season progressed more and more, the chances of him getting such an arc started becoming less and less likely. And now, the finale has outright proven that despite all of their efforts to give him a chance, he still refused to rejoin his brothers. Him not going with his brothers at the end of this episode opens up loads of new opportunities with his character arc. If he merely said, okay, I'll just rejoin you guys, it would be way too rushed of a redemption, and it would completely invalidate the amount of tension he had with his brothers. He's just going to rejoin them like that as if nothing had ever happened? That's not the way to properly do a story. It's kind of like how Ahsoka made the tough decision to just walk away from the Order. She very much knew that a simple apology from the Council wouldn't undo or change the damage they had done to her as a result of their arrogance. Crosshair not going with his brothers, and the relationship between them ending off the exact same way it was in the first episode, goes to show that the actions and events that had unfolded previously between them actually had ramifications for both him and the Bad Batch. Now I know what you may be thinking.
How could your prior sentence be true if we're back to the same place we started at?
Well, in short, the fact that they ended on roughly similar terms shows the audience the moral of the story to be said here. You cannot change who someone is. Tech even realizes that it's in Crosshair's nature to act that way, and not even he himself can change that. And as Rex would put it,
some things never change.
On top of that, although Crosshair did want to remain loyal towards the Empire, he still had some good in him, given that he saved Omega and was still conflicted after staying behind on Kamino. This immense polarity in his behavior goes to show his internal conflict. When Season 2 comes around next year, I'm sure he'll get his time to shine and do the right thing once and for all. The fact that we're getting a second season, along with Crosshair following the trajectory of someone who never changes, opens up the door for more possibilities. And although he and the Bad Batch have differing viewpoints, just like Hunter stated, they don't have to be enemies, and the one thing that the polarity between them will never destroy is family. Deep down, they'll always be his brothers, and for Omega, his sister, no matter what. But he also realizes that it's too late to undo all of the vicious actions he has done while serving the Empire. Regardless, Crosshair can and will get another chance at redemption in the future, but something major will have to occur for it to be a possibility. And until that happens, well, we just have to wait and see. Overall, while the finale wasn't the best, I'd still say it was decent enough. It could have been better, but I have confidence that the next season will take the direction of the story in unexpected and surprising ways. With Kamino destroyed and all the clones on the verge of being replaced, we definitely have a lot to be excited for. I definitely agree that this season had some filler episodes, but I never hated the show as a whole. In fact, I thought this show, barring the filler episodes with Sid, was amazing, and it definitely deserves a review from me in the near future. In short, I'd give this show an 8 or 8.5 out of 10, with some good episodes and some boring ones. There's a lot I'd like to say on this show, but this episode is already getting a bit too long as is, so I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!